Hello everybody. Well, I'm in my garden again. But actually, there's a lot in the scripture about what we can learn from the world around us. Proverbs talks about following the industry of the ant. Jesus compared flowers in the field and how God looked after them to how we can trust God to look after us. So I'm calling this little video Lessons from a Garden. Things that I'm learning in these days of change and adaptation. And here's the first one. This is our compost bin. Delightful sight, as you can see. And this is what it looks like when we first put stuff into our compost bin. And a couple of years later, this, amazingly, is what it looks like. Fine tilth and soil. And so, what does that tell me? Well, it tells me that nothing is wasted. Nothing in our life is wasted in God's economy. There are so many stories in the scripture of people like Joseph, people like Paul, who had some pretty up and down experiences in their lives. But nothing was wasted. God used every stage of their life to work through his purposes, the good stuff, the bad stuff, the ugly stuff, but it all served his purpose, and nothing of it wasted. And what it produced, every part of their life, was something rich and fertile. The next lesson from a garden is the humble parsley from Aldi. Every now and again we buy those packets of sown, or not packets, the little tubs of sown herbs. And normally speaking, we use them up and they stay on the windowsill in the kitchen, and eventually we realise they've died and we throw them in the compost bin that I've just shown you. But on this occasion, with the last lot of parsley, I thought, well, why not try and put it in one of our planters and see if it might survive? And look, it did. And in this time of lockdown and change and adaptation and restriction, let this be a time when God speaks to you about things that you feel might have died, things that you feel have lost their life. He can bring the life back to what feels and looks dead. Trust him for anything that you feel is dying or has died in your life, anything that you know was intended to be life-giving. Trust him in this season to breathe life again into what you felt had died. And here's some of that compost again. Patch of it there. Patch of it there. And a patch of it there. Because we've sown some seeds. And we're waiting for those seeds to sprout and produce some little seedlings which will plant out and fill these areas that at the moment haven't got anything growing or colourful in them, and fill them with colour. In this season, why don't you sow something that you haven't sown before? It may be in your relationship with God. It may be in your relationship with others. It may be to do with aspects of your life. But this can be a season when you can sow something that you haven't done before and look to God to bring growth and colour and vibrancy from what it is that you choose to sow into this season. And that might involve sowing something into someone else's life that enables something fruitful to grow in them. Be a sower of good seed in this season. And the last lesson for today. This is a little patch just outside our front door. And over the last couple of years, it's become completely overgrown with something, and I've no idea what it was. It looked like reeds or something, but they just took over this patch completely. Reminded me a bit of that parable of Jesus when it talks about the weeds being sown and coming up all alongside what was good and just crowding it out, and an enemy hath done this in the old King James Version. And I've no idea where this stuff came from that just crowded this area out and just smothered everything. But dug it all out the other day, pulled it all out the other day. And this dianthus actually was Anita's birthday, part of Anita's birthday present. But we've cleared out what was choking an area, and we've put in something that is colourful and is vibrant. And in this season, maybe there's a work for you to allow God to do in your heart, in your life, in your relationships. Stuff that has grown up in the garden of your life that He didn't put there and is choking out what is good and what is productive. Go on a journey with God in this time and see that whatever has come to overwhelm what He intended to be a place of beauty and strength and colour, root it out with Him. Let Him show you what it is, and then be at work with Him to place and replace something that is colourful and vibrant, that was always His intention for what that part of your life looked like. Whatever you're doing today, whatever time of day or night you see this, God bless you so well.